this is such the time for 2025, back to the city. So really grateful. I've got Osmic, the overseer, the CEO, the big boss, the scholar, the intellectual, the forward thinker with me. And I've got Pumla. Pumla, you've done quite a few things. Please educate me, because now I'm embarrassed to even introduce you.
Yeah, no, I did quite a few things. So
Yeah.
obviously Back to the City.
Yes.
The Hip Hop Summit.
Yes.
It's quite a few. And
Yeah.
then also my 9 to 5, which is Sony Music.
Yeah.
I work there. And yeah, I'm just a lover of life as well.
We'll get more into that
Yes.
as we unpack everything.
Yes, sir.
And another scholar, I'll call him the historian. Quite a quintessential guy, the lover of hip hop. Between when I know Amu, I don't know, no Stogi, no Osmic, who else? Me. I think you're new hip hop the way you do, but you play a pivotal role in development, and you are quite involved in unearthing new talent. You live the mic, you rap yourself. Rashid is here as well, and part of the team here, Back to the City. So the reason why I called you here is because Back to the City is happening this year on the 11th of October 2025, and we'll be celebrating, is it 19
years. Yeah.
19 years. Wow. That is actually 2 decades. It qualifies for 2 decades right at the door. And what fascinates me about that is it has grown so much, and what makes me exist is because of guys like you who have shown resilience. You have shown, the power to sustain and be able to have a mentality of legacy. 19 years is a long time. As a parent that is a 19-year-old knows a child who has gone through puberty, a teenager, and becoming a young adult, and how that feels like.
She's at university.
She's at university.
She can vote. She can drive,
you understand?
She can drink.
At that point, you don't even tell her do your homework. They already know. So that's how old Back to the City is.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk preparation, because I'm trying to spread a word out there that the art of preparation, it is the most costly. People do not know how much it costs you guys. I'm part of the family as well. That I am in charge of. I'm a food stall, so all applications, yes, now bubu sobakon, bufigagiti. So the kind of work that goes behind the scenes is what I'm trying to promote, to say, don't be scared, or rather be obsessed with the behind the scenes things instead of being on stage. So the narrative is that artists or gifted people, the ones that are going to be on this big stage, they rather run to this big stage and be absent in the room of preparation. You guys represent the room with Osmic over here, that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and that's what we're going to talk about, and that is preparation, hence the PrepCast podcast, all about preparation. So let me start with I'll start with the lady, Pumla.
Okay.
We're not gonna dilly-dally too much on other things, but I'm interested in the kind of element or essence that you bring to Back to the City, how it connects, or how you connect it with your current 9 to 5, because you work at Sony.
Yeah.
You work with artists, you are within that. And Back to the City is all about giving artists a platform, or established artists, a space. Yeah, it is a platform for them to come and be part of the celebration of hip hop. So my question to you is kind of like you introducing yourself in a way.
Okay.
What role you play currently in your sphere, and then what specific role you play for Back to the City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I just want to start from the beginning,
Yeah.
right? And giving props to, because you said something about Back to the City giving a platform for artists, right? I want you guys to understand that it's not just about artists. This man here gives opportunities to young people behind the
true.
scenes. You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
I started in Back to the City, I think about 2017, right? I was working for free at a radio station called Vow FM, and there I was very big on marketing as well. So I was doing the Wits all week parties and the big, that whole all week.
Only if you knew those Vets parties is what we used to wait for.
I know,
Whenever
everybody's
there was
trying to get on the
promo.
lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was part of that team, and I was very honored when Utapelo was like, "Hey, do you want to work for Back to the City?" I was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
So he found me, and he's like, and then I was his assistant for a while.
Yes.
And then so that's how I got into the family, and I was very shy. I was very, oh my word, but
look at you now.
Look at me now, you know what I mean? Because you guys don't understand how the opportunities, when someone gives you an opportunity, you need to take it.
Right.
And that's what I made sure I did, because I knew for a very long time that I want to work at Sony. I want to work with artists. I want to work at the biggest festival in Africa, which is Back to the City. And I've always checked those boxes.
Look at how intentional you are.
I was very intentional. Sure. And I want to give a huge shout out to my brothers for allowing me to show myself out, because unfortunately I don't have the education background, like university background, because mom's passed away. So when your mom passed away, you need to make a way for yourself. You need to work, because bills need to be paid.
Yes.
I have a 12-year-old daughter. She needs to eat. I need to eat. So we just ran, and it was these small opportunities that created this huge impact in my life, where I am now. Like right now I'm part of the Green Room team.
Yes.
So Osmic has given me that opportunity to run that full platform. So it's taking care of the artists.
Yes.
And the backstage. So when you get to Back to the City, you'll see there's this huge party that happens in the backstage.
Festival.
Always a party.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like, it's chaotic. I love chaos. But
it's the energy.
It's the energy. So making sure the artists are fed, making sure that they get what they need. Artist riders.
Yes.
The thing.
Yes.
So I make sure to take care.
What do I call that? Oh, you say the green.
The green room.
The green room.
Yes.
It's kind of like hospitality, making sure that they are well taken care of.
That's the one.
You're the most important person there.
I'm telling you.
At that moment, just because no one, I'm sure you can attest, you've performed before, Rashid. Even Osmic has a little bit. Being backstage, doesn't matter how much of a big song you have, the nerves that you have, and then you come in and you just say, just nje a bottle of water. Yeah, you've done a world of difference. And also just giving them space for them to gather their thoughts, that little separated room and all that. So that's what you are. What other...
Can I jump?
Yeah.
That's not the important thing she does.
Of course, because
no,
you're gonna
the important thing is the summit. I don't know why she's not talking
I'm
about.
Coming there. I'm also coming there. Yes. So now I was gonna mention
we're just elaborating more.
Yes. With
But
the Back to the City.
To me, that plays a huge role. Do artists will know that they get booked a lot.
Yeah.
And if not, chansa, they just want them to be on stage and then get out of here. So the treatment that they get it gives back to the city, the level of excellence.
Correct.
That's what it speaks to. Yeah. That I'm sure they call you like, this year and it's busy, because I think they do remember the VIP treatment that they received.
Correct.
So that is
true. It really goes back to front of house. It goes back to service, because as people, I think the service that you are given is what dictates whether you're going to be a part of this or not. You know, if you've noticed, a lot of people will say, I don't like that restaurant because I wasn't treated well. I will never go back again. So it's my job to make sure these artists are well taken care of. You know what I mean?
Let's just say there wasn't that green room. How do you think the whole establishment, the whole empire would be like?
It will crumble, guys. It's so weird because a lot of artists, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe Rashid can tell me why, but I don't know why artists feel like the rider will determine whether I want to get on that stage or not.
Sure.
You know, because it's not even just back to city. It's a lot of events. You know, just making sure, taking care of someone. If you go into someone's house and then you sit there for 2 hours and they don't give you water, they don't offer you anything. That's why I understand it. You know, because now you feel like, oh, they don't see me. Hey, then you just go home, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you know. So I think, but then also that shouldn't also determine your whole career. If I didn't get a bottle of this, now I will never support this company anymore.
You know what I'm thinking of as you're saying that? So I'm thinking the Last Supper. Before the most important thing has to happen, even if it's that moment to be on stage, food and a rider and everything, because even Jesus had to be taken care of. There had to be food in there. I hope Papa Fundisi don't even kill me for that, but I'm thinking before a major thing there has to be, lack of a better word, some kind of hospitality.
Correct.
Because it just directs you, it links you to that thing. So hey, buy food
and they need it, but
all right, so please tell me more about before that.
Okay.
Ngifuna ukungena ku Rashid. Okay. Because we've got enough time to talk. I want to talk about other weird things that you have experienced. Rashid, here you are. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi ungene kanjani nawe kwi Back to the City. And as far as I understand, you are in charge of the 10K challenge within the whole entire entity, or you will elaborate on that, because that speaks to the genesis. I mean, you've got an incredible story about who has been, for example, to the 10K challenge that people already know as the icons of South African artistry or hip hop. So, but let's start where you got into Back to the City, and also get into what your role is and how is it now, the journey.
Where do I start? I've known Osmic since way back, you know, before even Back to the City started, when we used to rap Candy Square. He used to beatbox, you know, until there was the ritual stores and all of that. So I've always been a hip hop activist before joining Back to the City. Hip hop activist, right? You know, in terms of writing articles, being vocal, you know.
Yes.
Obviously, Osmic knew that, and he saw that, and one random day he hit me up. Invited me over, asked me.
So this is a second random. How many randoms did he do?
You know, so he asked me like, what's your plan? What this you know, his difficult questions. You know. So he roped me in, you know, to be part of the team. And I think that's the thing that opened a lot of doors for me.
Sure.
You know, in terms of me being being on radio, it was because of, okay, I'm this guy from Back to the City.
Right.
And that's because of Osmic.
Yeah, man.
Me being on I Speak Hip Hop was because of me being the Back to the City guys.
Right.
Me being on TV, producing TV shows, it was because of that credibility that came with Back to the City.
Sure.
So everything else was that, you know. So the main thing Osmic wanted me for was the Sahas.
Okay.
Yeah.
South African Hip Hop Awards.
South African Hip Hop Awards.
Right.
But it's one thing with Back to the City. It's a matter of now we're working on this, and then now we're working on that.
Interlinked.
So I was very instrumental because I was there from day one, like deciding the categories, the rules, the criteria. So yeah, man. So Osmic knew what I was capable of, and I hope I haven't disappointed. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah. With 10K challenge, it was close to my heart because that's about the beats and the raps.
Okay.
You know, so that started in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, and Big Zulu was the first winner of 10K.
Big Zulu,
yeah.
Wow.
Big Zulu was the first winner of 10K. He was still skinny there. We have the videos and everything.
What rock have I been under? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the first producer was like Select Play. You know, Select Play is Tellerman. Nasty C's producer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
yeah,
all those people, Anzo, 10K challenge ended up being signed by his Java. You know, Assessor. There's a lot of people who
came through
10K challenge and went to become big names in the industry.
Right.
You know, so even the producers as well, they don't normally get the spotlight like a Big Zulu would do.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, 10K challenge. Like that's my baby, that's my passion. I ran with it. I used to do the hip hop summit, and thanks to Pumla, I used to do like because I would do hip hop summit and run to 10K and run to the main stage for the rap battle. You know, so now things are easy.
A bit of better administration.
Yeah, there's somebody everywhere heading things and running things. So that's why you can't come to Rashid and ask for hospitality or for food. You know, so you can't go to Osmic and ask for tags and the guest list. No. So everything there's an order.
System, the structure, which is I've heard you speak a lot about the importance of 10K challenge. As far as looking at with the eyes of back to the city as a whole. Can you just elaborate on that? Why you just said it's your baby, why it needed to be there, and obviously it has, like you said, groomed or introduced names that were known to become big names.
Opportunities. Firstly, when we're working on the lineup, those people who are on 10K, we don't even look at. You know, we're gonna look at the Caspers, the Big Zulus, the Nasty C. They don't stand a chance against those names. So if you win 10K challenge, the following year you are guaranteed lineup on the main stage. You know, so you shouldn't take that for granted. It's like Mvela League. Before you play in the PSL, you must go through and qualify to be there. So you can't just ignore this thing.
So I like that because it's part and parcel of preparation. That you can't be on a big stage you haven't been on a small one. You can't skip stages.
True.
And look at the people that have come to this one, and it's not also a small stage, because it gives you a lot of things. I'm sure you can attest. You meet a lot of people that could be talented, but they do not have stage etiquette and all that stuff. Just them having to experience that on an event as big as this kind of opens up their eyes. Right?
Even you see with 10K challenge, they perform better than the main stage. I'll tell you why. Vocals on the instrumentals are not allowed. So you have to be live.
Sure.
On the main stage, you can find people cheating. He's performing over a song. There's lyrics. On the 10K stage, that's against the rules. You get disqualified. You must perform on a plain instrumental.
Right.
So that trains you when you go there the following year.
Right.
You get shocked seeing people performing on tracks.
All right. No, that is amazing. Back to Osmic.
Bonjour.
The main guy. When you meet someone who it's hard to describe it because of the roles that you play. But one thing that is consistent about you is that you are forever concerned about growth.
Yeah.
And going forward. And it didn't happen just because now Back to the City is this big. 19 years. And let me tell you, Back to the City has never attracted less than 15,000 people. Never. In any year. After COVID, there were concerns that, is it going to pick up where it left off? It did pick up where it left off.
It didn't live. We had Back to the City, virtual Back to the City during COVID.
Yeah. You see, so that shows vision. And I'd just like you to explain the inception of
madness.
Yeah. And I want to get to the madness part because right now, Pumla was just being diplomatic, talking professional. But there are crazy things that you deal with that you have to put within these systems, which is what I'm asking you. How do you put these systems together? But let's start at what is Back to the City, why it started.
Yeah.
And how it grew and how you got to put systems. Also explain how big is the team? Yeah, how big is the team?
Okay, so which question to
let's start with how it started.
The current political climate.
Yeah.
How this thing started? I think you can Google how it started.
Yeah.
But I think what's important is why it's necessary, right? And I think it's not just only for hip hop, but it's for the entertainment as a whole.
Right.
Because if you remember, during that time when this thing started, the culture never really had like a platform it can call its own. Outside of obviously what Emile and them were doing in Cape Town. They had their own gathering that were there. So there was never anything that could cross over.
Sure.
And even before that, when we were younger, with places like Le Club or Gandhi or in Cape Town or the Bad Center guys in Durban, it was more to do with not even their region, but it was very locality based, right? So the idea was always to say, well, how do we do this thing to be countrywide, right?
Sure.
How do you give an opportunity to some artists from there in Kurumani, some small town you never heard of? Sure. How do you give an opportunity to a graffiti artist from wherever? How do you give an opportunity to this dancer or this producer, and also, how do you teach the government about what these young people are doing? At the same time, how do you expose the corporates to what these people are doing? Because when the festival started, commercially, I think there was no real money, because it was a fad. It was like, there would be like a jabba there who will get, like a good bag, but like it was always like one out of the 1,000 people, because it was hard to calculate the value of the culture.
Sure.
Until such a time when you can congregate the culture under one roof and say, there's a sea of people coming to listen to this thing.
You're saying something. I'd like you to pause there. I'm sorry to cut you. Calculating the value of the culture.
Yes.
And it took for you to put them in one room.
Yes. You have to put
space.
You have to put the culture, right? And everyone else in one room. So you have to first put the supporters, you have to first put the talent. And when we say talent, from the DJs to the breakers to the thought leaders, hence there's a summit, to all these things under this one roof. And then from there you need those supporters to come see and also purchase. That's why there are stalls, right? To show that there's also the entrepreneur guy, there's the guy with these t-shirts, there's the Butang, there's a Makip Keep, there's these guys.
True.
And then once that sea of people is there, you then need to bring government and say, government, this is how we look. This is, and we do these things by ourselves.
Yes.
So mayor, minister, MEC, this is how we look, right? And then you bring the brands and say, well, this is the power we have, right? Look at how many people are here. Look at the da-da-da-da-da. And then from there, once that's all there, commerce start happening, right? There was an interesting era that I think you know, I try to speak about it here and there, but I think it's never been delved nicely. So there was a time where myself and Mizi felt that there was something, the hip hop economy. There was no hip hop economy, because I don't know if you remember the era of the artist used to get the money, never pay the producer, never paid the dancer, never paid the DJ.
Sure.
Only the guy in the front was the man, but never paid the dancers, right? And media and I started coming with this thing, hip hop economy, to say, how do we, without saying to people, pay people, because there's no way I'm going to convince an artist to pay a producer. He's not going to do that, because he's not paying. So how do you conscientize, right? How do you put signals around, right? Where you just start automatically doing it. You think you're the one who's doing it, but actually you've been influenced somewhere else. And that started happening because he had the Hype magazine. I had the TV show. I had the radio on YFM. And the idea was that, okay, let's start, like, subtly. Let's start talking about it. You know? And then I think later on there was I Speak Hip Hop. Obviously Rashid was there. Say Rashid, like some of the wording.
And Pumla. I met Pumla. I used to work with Pumla at I Speak Hip Hop.
So it's how do these set of people in these spaces, right? If I go and I speak somewhere, in my conversation, I need to say something about hip hop economy, about how the artist gets paid 10 grand or 20 grand, then the artist pays the DJ $1,000, pays the dancers $1,000, pays the and then the guy with the clothing label gives the artist some gear, and then the artist must say, go buy it at this place, you know? So, and then you started seeing the dancers saying, no, I'm not coming if you don't pay me, right? So they don't realize that they read it somewhere that they should be paid, right? But they start saying, no, but dude, you performing here, you need to pay me.
So
then
who orchestrated this way of thinking?
This was me, myself, and Mizi, and I remember we couldn't. We couldn't do it in a way, because also remember we had Y, and you know that period of Y was interesting because we were allowed to we were at
the Zone.
At the Zone, we had a show called The Bridge.
Right? I remember.
So it was myself, Ken Zero, and Lee. And then Mizi would like visit. But what nobody realized what we were doing, Mizi had the publication. Remember how strong at the time the publication was. We had this radio thing. We had to make sure that his bosses don't figure out what exactly we're doing. And the bosses at Y don't figure out what I'm doing. Right? And no one must also, but it must seem natural. I don't know if you remember, we had even that slot where it was called The Case or something like that. Where
courtroom.
Was a courtroom.
Okay.
Right? I remember Java swearing at me there. Okay. So see, it's these little things where, and things like that happen because I started feeling like artists just now were not caring about a design of their cover or the music video, like laziness. It was just like, if I can sing the song and have this funny hook, everyone will pick it up. And then you start saying, let's do a courtroom where we bring a big artist and ask him, who designed this cover? Like, what does this cover have to do with the subject matter? Okay, you're single. Don't you think your single sucks? You know? Because of 1, 2, 3, right? And it was weird, but what that started happening is that then you started having people saying, yo man, I need the best designer to design my cover. Okay, then you started seeing music videos all of a sudden, and it's so cool because I think 5D Canon was coming in. Now you start seeing what the tear gas guys were doing. With I think that the guys, what was that production guys? Those 2 white dudes? It was Jason or something. They used to shoot with the 5D, and then you start seeing what Pioneer Unit was now doing in Cape Town with their covers, right? And their music videos. And then, because the idea was, how do we look international? You know? How do you look, like, how do you look where when KFC approaches you and want to work with you, they see your work and they're like, yeah, KFC advert and this guy's music video looks like the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be now like, we see him and then he wants 2 million, he wants 5 million.
Based on what?
And then with that video, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But these things, you have to obviously do them in such a way that you influence from behind. You don't go and start, guys, you must have better videos. And but where am I going to get the money from? But then you start seeing these artists saying, you know, in this month I made 100K, I'm going to take 50 and do this video for my single, you know? So I think that's the thing, is that if you then look at the festival, the influencers started going outside just the hip hop guys. Then you start having, you know, some of the house guys. Why can't we have our own festival? These hip hop people, and then they start doing it, and then it starts becoming. But how do these hip hop guys have all these brands? Because we were always known to have a lot of commercial brands. We were known to obviously have a lot of government departments, and obviously people couldn't figure out why. And then and it was never a secret, because when someone asks and we talk about it, we say because why we need to have them there and why we have to have certain things is because we need the commercial brands to pay.
Yes.
Because if the commercial people pay, the stuff can get paid, the artists can get paid, the young that can get paid, it becomes a value chain, which is called the hip hop economy.
Wow.
There we go.
Like it.
So, to anyone out there, this is how it begins. You were very intentional about that. I mean, even at the early stages, to have that kind of thinking makes me ask, how did you put the team together? And how do you govern them? Because I believe you oversee everything. You've got 7 eyes at your back, on your sides, you know. You are a lion, you are an ox, you are this.
Not really. The thing is, the whole team of, like, the core team, I think we're about 20, 25.
Right.
And the extended team, I think we're now like 2 months, a month before. I think we end up like 40 or 50 or something like that. Because remember, there's like a TV department. There's
how many departments do you have?
Sure. Remember, that department has an, you know, the boss has a sub boss. The sub boss has an under boss. You know, in all those sort of departments.
Yes.
And purely, for me, is always because I always say to people, I've never said back to the city is where my money is. I have never, that thing. If I just tell you, in the last 3 years we've lost 12.5 million rand. That's the money that personally has gone down the drain in the last 3 years because of the festival. So I do not make 5 rand or 2 rand from that thing.
Sure.
But what that thing does is that it enables the same way I use it, where if I want to speak to the minister, the minister will come to me purely because of that thing, like what Rashid is saying. So it's a tool to get me then to the next stage. If I want to speak to the president, the president will hear me out purely because of all these things that we do, right? And the idea is the same thing must happen with the team. If Pumla says, my ambition is to be a director at this company here, but I want to be in charge of the Europe office. She can, because she just has to use this thing as a tool. She just has to say, okay, cool. If I can find a way to bring artists that are from Europe, and I collaborate with the Europe team, and then they're like, yo, who's that girl down there in Africa? Call her over.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's the point of it. And it exposes you to then these government departments, because in whatever hustle you do, you're able to tap in because they know you from this body of work.
Right. Sure. That is so intricate and so well woven in. Let me ask you one last question, when Osmic. With the value that you have said of the culture, what would you say it is? That the question to ask even now, the value of the culture now? And also, you're only back to the city. what is it in essence now? You know, like someone will say it's a festival.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of artists to come in there and to perform. But you know better that, yes, when the festival has happened or is happening, what is the outlook? How does it come outside of everyone experiencing it? What is it now?
Yeah.
For example, if I were to say, so you come to church, we talk about the love of God and everything, and we preach, but you pick up with Norman. This is not just church. This is actually a leadership institution, grand. Yeah. Then you pick up the leadership institution. But we are doing preaching, talking about God, love, this and that, prayer, all that. So, in that essence, the value of the culture now, is that the question to ask? And also, what is Back to the City in its essence?
Yeah. Well, it's exactly that. It's a tool that I think outside of just hip hop, anyone can use.
Yeah.
You know, the Amapiano people use it because think about it. I always say, if you look at an Amapiano artist standing there and then you turn the song off, what does that look like?
It looks like hip hop.
It looks like a hip hop person.
And it looks like a rapper.
But if you trace their moves where they come from, it's the same story as us. You're sitting in your mommy's bedroom and you're on Fruity Loops. That's a crack version, and you're trying to. It's you and your friends, and you. That's what we did before, right? So I think for me that's what it is. It's a way to for everyone and anyone. I always say to artists, and I think the problem I guess with artists is that you've got a vision when you're in the bedroom,
right,
with your homies, but when you become big, someone else has a vision for you, right? And that tends to be a problem because I recall a lot of artists where I'd say to them, do your merch because you know you're performing at the festival.
Right.
Have a stall and sell your merch.
Yeah.
Back then I used to say, have your CDs there and come sell your CDs.
Yes.
What are you selling? And if you think about it, artists now, what are they selling? They're not selling anything. Like think of any artist. What is he selling? He's looking for a gig. He does a song. Hopefully we will listen to it on Spotify. On Spotify or these what he gets like 0.0003. You know what I mean? And then the artist is frustrated and saying, why don't I have money? And it's like, but what are you selling? Right? So it needs to get to that point. And you know what the beauty about, and I always say to people, all these things I'm doing, there's nothing unique about them. Me, I copy paste. I look at America. Because where do we get this hip hop from?
Yeah, from them.
We get it from America. All you have to just do is go look at what America doing and try to be. I get to a point where I try to be friends with these people, right? Because I say, okay, cool. What the guy's doing is so cool. How do I hang out with him? How do I like have lunch with him?
Right.
I just want to understand, is it him or is it someone else who's doing these moves, right? One of my biggest inspiration, and I only realized it when I'm grown, right?
Sure.
Because when I was young, I was like, what rubbish is this?
Yeah.
Right? It's Master P.
All right.
And I've had the
privilege. Same effect.
I've had the privilege to chill with him,
sure,
right? And to sit, like literally he's here and he's talking his story. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I wish at some point I had an opportunity to bring him here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was down to come here.
Sure.
Just that guy rolls with like 50 people,
sure,
you know? But I didn't do it because I don't think the culture is matured enough to hear him. The same way I was not matured enough back then to understand him, right? Because now I thought Master P is bowdy, and I'm like, what rubbish is this? But then you realize what he represents, right? He represents commerce and sustainability.
Yeah.
Because back then already, when there's that story of him where he was in that bus, I'm sure you know the story, where he's in the bus with Tupac and Snoop and all these artists and and he was trying to play him the songs and everybody was laughing at him. It's like, what rubbish is this, right? But what everyone in that bus never realized is that he had more money than them. because he assigned to himself.
Yeah.
And they were assigned to labels.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
For them to make money, they needed to hit the road
Right.
and perform and you know, shackle and jive.
Yeah.
And that guy, all he had to do is stand on a corner in his neighborhood and sell those CDs. I know if you know what he does now. You know that man now has like cereal and he goes
shoes,
and
sneakers,
he does the most
And he
random
talks.
things,
Yeah.
right? And I think these people like him, people like, you know, I don't want to use Puff Daddy as an example, but people like Puff Daddy, people like, because you must remember, Puff Daddy sort of, in a way, comes from that school
Sure.
of a Master P in them, because it was like those dudes in the South made their own labels, right?
Yeah.
They would call up Source Magazine, Vibe Magazine. They would buy advertorial, right? Because remember, once again, when we were young, when you bought Source Magazine, you would see all those net pages with no limit, and you'd be like, "Who on earth would interview these people?" Now later, when you grow, you realize they were buying the pages, right?
Sure.
They already understood
value
branding,
of-
marketing, blah 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 blah. They were already at that space.
Sure.
So I think also that creates a template for, I think, your generation, the 40, 50, 60 people in hip hop,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
Because that's what's happened now, is that now we've seen, oh, okay, so I can make my own car. Okay, I can make my own TV channel. Sure. I can make my own, and then I can go and get the young dudes to come into this thing.
Sure.
Because we're seeing what the American dudes are doing. Oh, I can go to Hennessy and create my own bottle with Hennessy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's where something like A Back to the City is, to say, you older generation, there's a map for you to follow, right? And what this map is, it just makes sure that when Nasty C becomes 50 years, he's not frustrated.
Yes.
It's already mapped out, like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, so Amo did this. Okay, cool. I just copy what Amo's done.
Yeah.
And if you look in the States, that's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. That is amazing, and I trust that this generation will be able to harness that.
Can I just add to what
Please
is in your question?
Yeah.
In my point of view as
Yes,
well.
of
So
course.
everything that he had said, and basically it's a university.
Yeah.
It's a university because
Perfect.
he,
I like that. I like
you
that.
know, everything that he had mentioned, branding, marketing, skills of learning how to sell, like sales skills.
And also, I like when you say university, there's a lot of internships that come through that.
Exactly.
And is that marketed enough? Like, the culture, does it know the value of these programs that have come through this university?
I think it's there.
Yeah.
You see, once again, and I think it's the entertainment industry as a whole.
Right.
I think the entertainment industry hasn't gotten to a state of maturity, right?
That's my language.
You know, so, and it's bad because, let's be honest, I do a lot of these
got
school
that for
talks,
Rosa,
right?
That.
Yeah. So you in these like school talks that I do, I actually have 2 ones coming up. You must tag along on one of them,
please.
80% of the kids, because I asked them first, right? Because I need to understand who am I talking to.
Right.
80% of them, whatever that they want to do after school,
Sure.
it's something to do with entertainment. I want to be a DJ. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a fashion.
Right.
I'm not hearing people say I want to be an astronomer, astrophysicist, or brains. I'm not hearing that. But now the problem is you've got all these kids in these schools where 80% of them want to go into an industry that's not regulated, that's where there's no money, where there's
structure,
problem, and there's drugs and these funny things, right? And the industry itself, as much as it's I mean, our entertainment industry is super old. You're aware that I'm gonna tell you, I'm looking at her face. Lilian Ngoyi was touring Europe in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Was performing for the Queen in like 1880.
Sure.
that's how deep we go in this country.
Right.
But it hasn't gotten to a point, and I don't know why, where it can sit itself, formalize itself. Think of NUM, the Union of Metal Workers.
Yeah.
Think of Santag. Like, do you understand that those industries, if they say the economy is shutting down tomorrow,
the economy is shutting down.
It's shutting down tomorrow. Yet the entertainment, and when I say entertainment, from actors and musicians, all these things,
the most hard hitting.
Imagine if tomorrow everybody said, okay guys, please remove my song from radio, please remove my face from the TV, please remove my my article, please remove my face on the billboard.
Sure.
Just imagine what the country would look like. The country would be depressed, just like that, right?
Yeah.
But we have not understood our value and our power.
That is true.
In America, I don't know if you know when that guild of actors were striking.
Yes.
Remember what happened?
Yeah.
When they all wanted increase, and they were like, "No, I'm not rocking up to that movie."
Yeah. They shook the place.
They were,
Hey, my man.
because your series is not coming out, Netflix
Yeah.
not getting anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's why I asked that thing about value, and you're saying the culture, and I don't think it's just culture alone.
but that's what I'm saying. Entertainment,
Yeah.
as a whole. So
Fundi
It's
Vundla
not
fired all
ready-
of them.
Ready to mature.
You're striking, you're fired.
Hey.
but imagine if he did that, and the Mapiano guys got behind that, the
Yeah.
other actors got behind
Yeah,
that.
that would be a force
Yeah.
to
And
be
say,
reckoned with.
If this person is doing that, please don't play. Go play American songs. Take all my stuff out, because you know what I mean. It will end up having SABC saying, hey, "Okay, no," you know. And it's a lot of things. Like, you know, till this day, I'm still puzzled and confused that when you're an artist, you sing a song,
Right.
over this thing, and then the song of yours will feed you and your kids forever, right? Because you've got royalties, you've got you've got the
That's
needle
right.
time, you got But you're an actor.
Hey,
You get one check,
for that. Yeah.
and then it's finished. But your thing will live on. Look at that Shaga series.
Yeah.
It will live on forever.
Eternity.
We're still watching Good Is Nice till
Yes,
today.
Yes. And that was a benchmark. Yeah.
Yet you don't have like the most basic thing. Like, you know what I mean? And that tells you something, right?
Yeah, another thing I wanted to say, I wanted to add, back to the city. It's not just the festival.
Right.
There are programs throughout the year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Please.
We just Osmic and I and other members, we just got 50 artist distribution deals, you know, through a program we were running.
Come on.
You know, so there's like a different programs, and when you look at it, it's not just the team. On the day of Back to the City, the festival,
Right.
there's more than 1,000 jobs created.
I've seen that.
You know,
I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen that.
Back to the City, like Osmic says, can lose 12.5 million, but a lot of people they benefit from that. You know,
Still.
with every festival,
Still.
people go home richer.
No, wait a minute. Say that again. Are you hearing what you're saying? You're saying there could be so much loss as far as monetary value. 12 million gone.
For Back to the City
For Back
itself.
to the City. But the people that benefit from the programs still can rise above.
Yes.
While that's the point I'm trying to make, that if it doesn't cost you, or nothing that costs you, you respect. Meaning the programs, what I like about them is that they put you through trials, and you can't trust what has not been tested. You understand? So the test will cost you, and there's a problem with us not wanting things to cost us.
Yeah.
That's why now there's such a podcast such as this, because we are saying the room costs you. Be there. in the room of preparation.
Yeah.
But big stages is where you want to just jump and be there, and you do not know that this very platform costs you guys 12 million. 12 million is no child's play.
Yeah. And since this is PrepCast about preparation, there's another thing that Osmic started doing a long time ago. With his interns, with his teams.
Right.
He used to put people on radio, give people radio jobs, corporates, Red Bull, whatever, so that when he comes tomorrow and say, hey, Red Bull or Metro FM, I need it. He's calling his people.
Yeah.
Hence we are here.
Hence we are here.
Same as what he saw in you. Guys, thank you so much for that. Pumla, you wanted to elaborate more on the university part, and I cut you there.
Yes, you did, but it's fine. No, but just going back to it, it's really just a university that is an incubator for young talent, and I need to stress, and old talent. I need to stress this enough, right? Just as much, we know the structure for the university. There are people that are going to come in, and there's people that are going to fall off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what happens as well in the same back to city structure. People come in, say, I don't like this is too much work, and then they leave, but then they don't understand the bigger picture. And that's where the drive comes in from us as people. How much drive do you have? How much passion do you have? Where do you want to see? Because the conversations that we have with the team and Osmic will pull you aside and say, okay, what do you want to do?
Sure.
And then you need to be sure about what you want to do and write it down, because these opportunities, he's going to put you in a position to show up and show off for yourself.
Most definitely.
And then when you put that inside and you claim that I do the SA Hip Hop Summit, and I love it so much because it's opened so many doors for artists, for Sony to see me, for I used to work for Podcast and Chill as well. So there's so many things that just putting me in the position of power has done for me and for the whole team. And then I can always go back and say, Oz, you did that, man. You did that.
Speaking of that,
I'm
also thinking outside of what we have been terming the university for artists. There's security.
Oh, yes.
There is, what else? Other entities, businesses that want to benefit. Obviously, there's food stalls that they want to make business on that day. So, Justin Jane Samuel, what is the experience of Back to the City to someone who has never been there? There's so much going on. I mean, there's business opportunities. We did cover that. But to someone who has bought a ticket for the first time, they've never been there, what are they going to experience?
Back to the City, if you're in the entertainment, whether hip hop or not, Back to the City is like Mecca, is like the pilgrimage that you need to attend at some point in your life.
Say that again, it's the pilgrimage.
It's the pilgrimage.
It's exactly, you are precise about that. It is a pilgrimage.
Yeah, it is the pilgrimage.
It's the Mecca.
It's the Mecca. You know, so everyone at some point in their life, they must go to Back to the City.
Bucket
they must
list.
attend.
You have to experience.
They must attend Back to the City. And another thing that I like, there's no gatekeeping. If other events like Cotton Fest or Delicious want to use our members for their expertise, go ahead. There's no gatekeeping. There's no conflict of interest. You know, our people, we are everywhere. Say like, you can't do this for that guy. No, we don't have such a thing.
Wow. Osmic?
Sir.
What would you say that the experience at Back to the City is as your view?
I think those that don't know must buy a ticket and come see it on the October. I can't explain. You must just buy a ticket. Go to www.backtothecity.hiphopfestival.com. Buy a ticket. And then they must come, and then they can experience it themselves.
Sure. Thank you so much. You've said so many things that really hit me in a sense. There's still a lot of work to do. Words like immaturity for entertainment. Words like we do not know our value yet. We still, if you are saying Lilian Ngoyi did that at that time and we haven't really made, okay, Amapiano, there is that Portugal thing that they do. Maybe it's an Afro.
Who's doing it?
It's not from here.
No.
I don't know.
It's not from here.
Well, still going back to the same point.
It's not from here.
That we are not running.
Everybody's looking for a booking. It's not from here.
Amen. Look, PrepCast simply means come in prepared. You have a gift, and this gift has a manual. And the manual demands that you know exactly what to do. Be intentional. 19 years is a milestone. You have every right to call it the
pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage. You have every right, because it has proven itself to draw numbers. And these numbers, they end up getting opportunities way better than they first experienced the previous year. I mean, the relationships have been formed. I'm part of that. In a sense, I was just a performer. Now I'm part of the family. Not only because of the role that I've played, but because the vision needs to continue. This is about legacy, and we hope that Osmic becomes a voice. In a sense that whenever he picks on education, because he's picking up young people are not seeing how you need to think like in a global scale. Then he will post something on Facebook. You need to pay attention to that. He's always posting things about wealth creation, about how you grow. Not only are we at Bogart, this is, if you look at the clientele of this brand, it is people that understand that language, that you can't just come and skip stages. It's all about legacy and being able to give something even when you are not alive. This thing still continues. And what I like about him and Bogart is that Bogart's title says "Enough said." I just asked him, what do you have to say about Back to the City? He's like, yo, just buy a ticket if you haven't experienced. That's that. Enough said. Yeah. You understand? So there's still a lot to talk about. I hope the summits will still come back. Yeah. I like when Osmic is going to schools, teaching all those things. Let the culture of, I think, being human, not even hip-hop, let it gravitate to what this man is doing. Because he's building and he's holding this thing on his shoulders. To be able to have a show on that day, 1,000 people are employed, and you still need to do it the following year. Absolutely. That's what we are saying is growth, and it needs to be sustained. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add, while you were talking about Osmic, I said Osmic is the only person I know in the world who can rap,
who's
produce,
broke.
DJ, breakdance, skate, graphic design, and I can go on. He's the only. Do you know anyone like that?
The word multi-talented is an understatement.
It's madness. That's what it is.
Name a person.
That is so true.
Name a person who can rap,
Don't
DJ, produce, graphic design.
Do you know what we call that as we close? Nah?
Madness.
Curate a festival. Show me one person.
That's what we call accumulative advantage. Meaning, if he loses one or two, he's still multifaceted. Even if he can't break dance, he still does what no one else can do.
But he has a right to say. He has a right to say this is bad. This is whack, because he can do it.
But why don't people just do that? I don't understand.
Look at him.
Yeah, he thinks it's normal. Like,
but it is. But don't you think it
like
is?
Everyone can.
But they can.
But it is true. Actually, that's what we preach.
You should.
Yes.
That you can.
But
you know why? Because you're African and you're powered by the sun.
Come on now.
Yeah, but you're African.
Talk to me, man.
Powered by your son of the soil.
Yeah.
You've got superpowers, but like nobody uses them.
You just quoted Genesis.
It's just everybody.
You are what you come out of. If you come from the earth, it produces after its own kind. So anything that the earth can do, we can do. I think you don't do one thing.
I think it's obviously you can do a lot of things. I think people limit themselves. If I'm a good rapper, that's where it ends. If I'm a good footballer, that's where it ends. They limit themselves.
Yeah. Osmic, I think you need to be the voice of the decade. I'm telling
you. Never that.
I feel like he already is.
I'm saying I think his voice is underrated in the sense that whenever he speaks, everybody must just shut up and the earth shakes, and they do it. Because imagine you're the only one within the hip-hop... no, not even hip-hop, man. Like in the culture where for one day, as a young black guy, you're not young anymore, but you can have 1,000 people depending on something whilst you are concerned with your I just lost 6 million. But the benefit doesn't look like it's a loss. That is amazing. Yeah. And applause to you. Come on.
Applause to you guys for coming into my madness.
He taught me how to write an invoice. he taught me how to write an invoice way back in the days. How do I get my money?
No, shout out to you guys. I mean, all these things I've been attempting to do for the last 26 years. It's not me. It's there's people who believe in like the madness from when I did that mixtape, you know, when I was instead of 7, you know, there are people that said, okay, we'll drive to this guy's house there in Deep Soweto. Or the store, the people who said, I don't have money, but can you put your album here and the promises in 30 days when you come back, whatever copies I've moved, I'll pay you back. Sure. To trust that. To the people that came and said, okay, this festival thing makes no sense. You know, people like, I mean, you know, TTP is, I think, one of the few people that have been there day one, and what's his name? Like people like Lele, and then obviously then later on, you know, Pumlas and Rashids, to entrust, to say, you know, this thing, okay, let's see how it goes, you know. And now obviously with a museum, you know, people such as yourself and, you know, Rashid and all these other, you know, Alex, you know, to say it makes no sense, and everybody is like also teasing it and like, why would you have a museum? That's stupid, you know. But there's these people that are like, can see the vision when I say the museum won't make sense now or next year or 5 years, but when you did, it's when it's gonna make sense. Because you're not there, but it's the thing that will outlast all of us. The museum is going to be there in 300 years.
Sure.
So your kids,
yes,
3 generations from now will go to this museum.
You've just given a new definition to madness. Then, if you call that madness, that's what it is. Listen. May you all be blessed. Osmic, may you continue your health, your mind, your heart be strengthened. May you be blessed in everything that you do. Conquer, dominate in everything that you do. You are blessed to have a team such as this. You've been consistent. You are blessed to have a leader such as you are, a mind such as you are. I trust that we will do anything in our power to protect your legacy, because you are one of a kind. And thank you so much for coming to PrepCast.
Peace and love. Y'all also one of a kind.
Thank you so much for coming through. Until the next time they catch us. PrepCast, Napse.